Holy shit, our altcoins are exploding right now. Bitcoin moved past $94,000 with conviction early this morning. Came back down. We're currently at 93,000 right now. I have some targets I'm watching for another massive long entry on top of the trades I already have going. And I just cannot stop winning. Klaus Schwab, at the young, tender age of 87 years old, falls under investigation of financial misgivings. Man, can we get a 2 for this year on sending assholes to prison for financial misconduct, Isaac? What do you think?
Do it. Send everybody to prison. Send everybody to El Salvador kill camps.
You're going to prison. You're going to prison.
You're going to El Salvador. Screw you. We don't like you.
Woo! Oh, man, it's feeling good here. We're going to take a look, obviously, at the altcoins sector. There's some huge stuff going on with a launch of a token Zora by Base and the team of Base. It's not going so well. People are a little bit upset about this. This has done some interesting things to token creation metrics, all of those things. We got a whole shitload of stuff to cover, so buckle up, Buttercup. We're about to get it. Let's see who we got in the chat. I'm feeling incredible. I did that same workout, punch out, and then today I did abs and punching today, and I'm dying right now. Like, I am very, very tired. But I feel amazing. Crypto Pricey, what's up? Laserface, we're all still eating maggots. Oh, God, that's just no, absolutely not. Over my dead body. Right? The maggots can eat me, and rather than that. Crypto Stevo, Mike Volmer, Uncle Tommy, Cali Crypto Dude, what is up? We got Dank Crypto Sweats. Let's deport Isaac Does Crypto, aka AA. Isaac, what you think? We're gonna deport you?
Try me. Let's do it. Let's do it. Send me. I will come back with a bunch of heads.
Yeah. Crypto Dave, what's up, man? This is gonna be there's so much stuff to go over. Make sure you're following me on X. I did do an emergency live as we were breaking out last night. I believe it was on the Mario account. We got to start doing the shows on Discover Crypto's account too. That's a pretty big account. It's 1 million followers. We got to start doing that. So we're going to get that rolling here, but make sure to follow me at Druth Crypto. Come to you live with all the news and things as they go down. Also, 74,000 people have subscribed to the channel because it's clearly because of Isaac, right? And the haircut. They saw the haircut and they just came flocking in. It's incredible.
I hope that's the case.
Yeah.
It is. Don't worry.
It puts the AA in prison, or else it gets the hose again. AA in prison. God, are we seriously going to see Klaus Schwab held responsible for this? Like, it's almost too good to be true. Like, the amount of things that are happening on a world stage. Make sure to like this video. That's right, Luis. Thank you for the reminder. Track down an OG NFT for Mr. Mark. That's a good idea. And also, we need to talk to TJ about OG NFT holders. What's the plan? Because I want to make some plans for that. Maybe it could be something that ties into Bitcoin Vegas. You know what I mean? Right?
Possibly. Hopefully, that's the goal.
No, I'm coming up with it right now. Also, we got the access to the Discord. I've been much more active in the Discord. I realize the Discord is an integral part of this community. And, if we do end up converting over, there's going to be some things that I'm going to have to do to make sure that we still have that community going. We do have the full access to the controlling account now, which is great. So that is very, very good. Yes, back when TJ was hosting, indeed. TJ used to host this show. I sat in Isaac's spot.
Hi, guys.
And one day, some major shit had to go get dealt with. I had to stand up. And I had never hosted the show before. I was nervous. I just got up. The show must go on, right? So I got up and absolutely made it happen. There may be a merge sufficient enough. I might, but he's saying no merge, damn it. It's gonna see what we're doing with the Discover Crypto Hit Network and BitLab Academy consolidated. That's where you're gonna have like a DeFi Academy, live questions being answered. We're gonna have real estate experts in there. We're gonna have basically anything and everything to do with finance and crypto and experts plugged into that.
Yeah.
So it is kind of like this interesting ecosystem that TJ is building out. Where the Pew Pew channel is going to stay. Absolutely. And the OG, of course. Now, AA stood in for Druth as well. That's right.
Yeah. Back when his 5-minute car place that he went to ended up taking an hour and a half.
That is true. That was a good
good old
day.
days. Good old days.
I was there, and my phone died as I was listening to you. Oh, yeah, that was a good day.
Scary.
All right, so now let's take a look at the crypto markets. We're at $2.9 trillion market cap. For a moment, we did tap 3 trillion. A little bit of a pullback, but honestly, 93,000, feeling good. Ethereum finally showing some life here. It did tap $1,800 earlier on in the day. Then XRP 221. We got Solana coming in $150. CZ almost ready to be released from prison.
Then we're gonna replace him with Klaus Schwab.
Yeah, Schwab. Schwab. You know,
No, Schwab. He swabbed to me.
Here's some context for you, and we're going to cover the story. Klaus Schwab's father ran a prisoner of war camp for American and Allied forces in, I believe it was Luxembourg.
Nice.
But essentially, Klaus Schwab's father was forcing POWs to produce military equipment to be used against their own forces. You know, and there is speculation. I am of the opinion that a large amount of those family members, and potentially even Mr. Adolf himself, made it to Brazil.
Oh, nice.
Eventually. I think, you know, it's really kind of insane when you think about it. Like, we absorbed a ton of scientists out of the Nazi forces. And it's left a very kind of, like me, myself, my one grandfather was SS and the other one was fighting in Iwo Jima, right? Against each other, basically, in World War II. Crazy, crazy things can happen in history. And then you end up with psychopaths like me wandering the world. And that's what it is. So
radicalizing the youth, aka me.
Yeah, it's war sucks, man. Crypto Steve said it's like you have, you know, my two grandfathers at a point where, you know, they would have killed each other if they were in the same room, and I would have never existed. Absolutely crazy. Dogecoin, we got to look at Dogecoin today for SEC nasty. 17 cents, showing 3% pump. Cardano trying to hit that 70-cent mark once again. It hit it earlier this morning. Chainlink bumped its head at $15. Very historic resistance level. Now it's at $14.79. But you know what's kind of weird is on X right now, Chainlink is trending, Bitcoin is trending, Satan is trending.
Oh, really? We should change that ASAP.
Yeah. So, like, what the hell's going on with that?
I don't know. Don't want to know.
Gotta change the conversation there. All right. And Avalanche at $22.14. Absolutely delicious. Sui with a major pump. Look at that. 21.4%. Absolutely crazy. The altcoins are looking very, very good, but there's much ground to be made up on most of these altcoins. So let's take a look at Bitcoin, because all roads lead to Bitcoin. Don't sleep. Say Jesus. You and AA, basically superheroes. What's your superhero name? What is our superhero name? Do I have a superhero name?
I don't know. Apparently, we were
Nicotine Man.
Nicotine Man. That's nice.
Hold on.
Fun.
I was gonna do a shout out later on in the show for my favorite burrito place.
Ooh, is it the one you've been telling me about the past couple of days?
Dude, yes. I'm gonna when we get there, it's gonna be huge. This place does free food for kids on Tuesday. All the families come in. Honestly, just like the 2 meals cost like 30 or 40 bucks that me and Tia get, because it's really good food. They give all the food to the kids for free. It's insane. And then the lady comes out, she's like giving us free drinks, free cookies, The Adventures of Druth and AA.
The ambiguously gay duo from SNL. The Mullet Men or Captain Poon Plunger.
Captain Poon Plunger is a good one for you. Absolutely. That's great.
Yeah. I'm going to use that when I'm in Vegas.
Never fear, Nicotine Man is here. I kind of like Nicotine Man.
Nicotine Man and Captain Poon Plunger.
I mean, these are...
Write it down right now, you motherfuckers.
These have nicotine and caffeine coffee in them. These are coffee grounds and then nicotine powder off the plant in a pouch that's absorbed through the gums. Much quicker absorption than if you smoke it or anything like that. Zin guy. Don't blame the Zin. Don't blame the Zinner, blame the Zin. Right? That's what they say.
Oh.
Now, let's take a look at Bitcoin. This is the level me and Isaac were looking at. We did our morning market open live stream today. Isaac got stopped out.
It was crazy. the
You got-
fastest candle in my life.
Really, I was warning you about this because it pumped into market open. Like the market was a little pumpy up until 9:30, right? Now I get the haircut. So in general, the liquidity spot that we were watching has now disappeared. Let's refresh this. We're watching, there was a better line here of liquidity to grab at about 91.6. This is really kind of evaporating here.
Yeah.
So it bounced off. It grabbed a good chunk of liquidity on this pullback. Might have to scoot this up just a bit. My trigger finger is itchy to get in. I still have that long in from 75, and I want to get another big play in. Maybe Poon Plower or Poon Plumber, Isaac. Maybe.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Smash the likes.
It has to have Captain in the front of it though.
Captain.
Because Papa Gooth said it has to happen.
Yeah. Got a nice ring to it. Let's see. A dumbass turbo. Sold turbo last year. Oh well. The Crypto Stevo mistakes happen all always. All right. Ooh, update from Zora. Blockchain report. All right. So we got 1,500 Zora tokens on the main wallet. And the hacker claimed 400 on his hacked wallet. Fuck.
Jeez.
Oh, man. That is I'm sorry to hear that a hacker got some of that. At least they didn't get all of them. This Zora airdrop has been a total cluster. We will get into that a little bit later on into the show. But generally, watching the charts, what's Bitcoin doing? The S&P not looking too bad. Bitcoin, I am getting that confluence, but this is on the 4-hour. We're still showing that red dot. The 15-minute, I think we're getting a little beat down by the trade talks, kind of, having a little bit of a, multi-year outlook on finding resolution to, and that peace deal that Trump was trying to hook up with Putin and Zelensky is getting really messy. We're going to cover that too. Some major updates there. Did have the green dot and the momentum wave move to the downside like I was hoping this morning for us to see. Trigger wave is there. We have not moved to the upside yet, so probably in the short term, I'm not going to be surprised if we tap above this range again. Got to be careful protecting capital, and finding the right entry points is what I've found compounds the gains in trading. So just be careful. And speaking of being careful trading, this is absolutely insane. Gate.io pledges 100% compensation to affected users amid emergency system update. Absolutely brutal. An emergency system update. Think about the timing. They do an emergency system update right as the fucking price is going nuts.
Sounds like something that happened with someone we also know.
It does, right? Like, this is why you have to be careful trading, man. It's the upgrade completed, the contract services related services return to normal, but due to an excessive platform traffic. Sure, Jan, at 9:30 UTC, April 23rd, we had to urgently expand and upgrade the contract services. The crypto exchange explained in the announcement. So this is just an important thing, a heed of warning.
Yeah.
When you are trading, and never have your whole bag wrapped up in these trades at all. 8%, maybe 2%. You can turn that into 10%, 20% if you're really focused, if you're convicted. Good morning, Brianna. Are you feeling better, Brianna? All right, good. Good to see you. Now, this is a great message about trading, active live trading. And I think, I haven't seen many people, because I gave the sauce directly
Always
a week ago or like 2 weeks ago. The weekly was flipping bullish. I'm full porting into longs, on the trading bag. I haven't seen many wins other than, a lot of people said, oh, I'm glad we didn't go to zero, but I haven't seen, CryptoFace had some good wins. I did see CryptoFace got in on it.
Yeah.
I'm looking around for those big wins. I feel kind of lonely, feel kind of lonely. Everyone loses money at the start though. When trading, either that money you lose in trading is tuition, or it can simply be viewed as extraction, where you didn't learn any lessons and you just go do the same thing over and over again.
Mine was tuition. Because I did mine was tuition this morning. It wasn't a lot. I didn't lose
what chassis got banned? Why did he get banned?
Why did he get banned? I didn't ban him.
Well, go look.
Oh, I could ban him. He said, sorry, I'm late. Isaac, spank me if you need me to. And I said, I said, bet. I didn't ban him. He's still here. Don't worry about it.
There's still time, Isaac.
There's still time. I see. I was gonna let that one slide just because we're having a great old day. But you know what? Screw you.
You are banned.
There it is. So yes, when you learn lessons in trading, You can either basically take that as, oh, that's just a scam and didn't learn anything from it, and just keep moving on doing the same thing, or adjust your approach. One approach that has very much so helped me is that I have stopped messing with trades on Mondays. I left Mondays alone. What are you smiling? What are you doing?
Mr. Mark's being funny.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Also, we have something to celebrate for Grafane. Almost,
not really. For other people who bought the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, I should have bought it. Yeah, I brought it up that I should.
Yeah.
Just to spite you.
Yeah, I know.
God.
Yeah,
I knew it.
It's that 60% pump didn't do. Everyone's like, "Oh, Grafane pumped. It didn't do anything for me. My $800 bag is still worth freaking $60. Okay, leave me alone." Are you happy that Grafane pumped? No, scam.
No, wrong. All right. So Bitcoin is now a larger market cap than Google overnight with that hump. That's pretty good. Larger than Google and silver. So Bitcoin continuing to chunk up the ranks. Next one on the target list, Nvidia. Big target here. Microsoft, another behemoth at 2.7 trill. Apple at 3 trill. And then gold. This is the kahuna. If we can swap out interest and mind share of gold into Bitcoin over the next 10, 20 years. I mean, if Bitcoin had a $20 trillion market cap, that would bring it to $1 million a token.
You are banned!
Dude, what are you doing? We're not even going to talk about it. Keep going.
All right, fine. Now, big money loading up their bags with Bitcoin. The whales have been pulling all the Bitcoin that the plebes have been selling. All the people, oh, it's so bad. You know, and we were talking about this morning. I feel like a lot of the people that were calling for the bear market to be starting and the bull market to be over were overexposed to Solana memes. Just going to say it. And the hype, they were buying the hype on that AI stuff, which is coming back.
Yeah,
we talked about it yesterday. Like Tau showing the sign of life. Money flows downhill still. A lot of people say, oh, it's broken. It doesn't work. It fucking does. And Tau pumping. I could see some money making its way back down the line into AI agents and things of that nature. I actually have an AI agent that I want to talk about a little bit today. It's kind of a very small market cap, but TJ's been feeling real good about it. Just the tech behind it. And the chart, if we did move into it, way better upside than even if Grafane accomplished, that original buy point you're talking about. What is going on in the chat? Why is Brianna going off? What are you guys doing?
It's just the chat's being funny, man. They're unhinged today. It's great.
All right. Our mods sure do improve and the bags are up. Yeah. I got yelled at by people in the comments, like, you guys just let the scam comments talk. I clear them out. Brianna, I'm glad you're in the room. I clear the scam comments out once a day. It takes me like 20 minutes or something like that. But then they keep coming. Do you have YouTube Studio logged in on your phone? I'm going to make sure that happens. If you may, we need the scammer comments are coming out of the woodwork for us. It's a tidal wave. I want to hear the community. If you're watching this, if you're that guy that yelled at me, I hear you. And I take that shit seriously. I know Mr. Mark tries to keep up with the comments too. They are absolutely incredible. How many scammers come out. But I think the biggest scam that we've seen in crypto is, basically market makers talking about mega recession and to batten down the hatches. Meanwhile, the whales are buying up all the Bitcoin in the background. Big money loading up their bags on Bitcoin. Liquidity inventory, all exchange in GBTC, and demand for accumulator addresses right here in the red. And the price on the way down. They've increased their allocations. They have conviction. And what we see with Bitcoin is likely considered now that the ETFs and regulatory clarity are here, Bitcoin is definitely here to stay. There is probably more hesitation from even the average crypto investor, where's my hat, to let go of their Bitcoin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even TJ, let go. And like me, I'm barely outpacing the Bitcoin swap out that I did. The legacy holds are definitely in Bitcoin still.
Yeah.
But the swap that I did in September 23, Chainlink was like $5. Bitcoin's at, I think it was around like 30K. It's basically, flatlining that upside.
Pretty much.
Isaac legit looks like a representative.
That was funny. I like that one. That was funny. I'll leave that one there.
Oh
Matter of
my
fact, I'll let
God.
everybody across all platforms see it. You see this right there? This was funny.
This is a big deal. Look at this. So Jack Mahler, CEO of SoftBank, Cantor, Tether, and Bitfinex's multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin acquisition vehicle. Someone very important and key plugged into this is Howard Lutnick.
Yeah.
Lutnick is extremely smart and bullish on Bitcoin. This multi-billion-dollar startup vehicle to accumulate more Bitcoin. This is setting the precedent. This is almost like what strategy is setting the pace for on Wall Street. This vehicle might very well be the vehicle that sets the pace for the sovereign wealth fund of the literal United States of fucking America. So
Jesus.
just keep in mind, we're looking at it early. This kid's crazy. He's going to have a lot of money by the end of his life. Absolutely nuts. Now, ARK Invest, Fidelity, BlackRock, as we said, massive inflows, $700 million in inflows into Bitcoin ETFs just yesterday. Larry Fink, Kathy Wood, institutions all accumulating while the plebes flee off of the vehicle, which is kind of sad for me to see. Honestly, not going to lie. Kind of sad for me to see people get psyoped out of their bags. Coins chick spanks AA and then he takes it out on us.
Okay, I was going to ask a question, but now I'm not even going to ask it anymore. Okay.
Why?
No, I want to see what the fear and greed index is.
Oh, okay.
Based off that last post there.
Yeah. Let's go look at it. Fear and greed.
We're talking about the plebes leaving out,
Plebes.
paper hands.
They're coming back.
They're coming back,
Let's
but
see.
they're coming back at a slow rate.
I mean,
actually,
that's pretty fast.
I was not expecting 52 today.
Yeah.
I was actually a shocker to me.
Well, it's how fast sentiment switches over, right? And then we could pull back down to like 87, which is honestly a pretty big volume node. And that fear will go back down into the 20 to 40 range. I mean, people are just so emotional. So emotional.
Control your emotions, please.
Like if you have thousands of dollars in crypto and then you wake up and it's $100, or let's say like Graphane, it's $1,000 to $60. That's an emotional experience.
It is an emotional experience.
But
I have no emotions, so therefore I don't care.
Take the emotions out of it. You'll be just fine here. Sitting at a flat line for fear and greed. Not too worried about it. Honestly, we do need to look at, is this the top type conversation? Let's go on over to CoinGlass.
And the Pi Cycle top indicator.
Yep. See how much room for activities we have. Bam. Bam. Let's zoom in a little bit. All right. So actually, this thing is still absolutely wide open. That is so crazy to see this so wide open at this point. This is an extended cycle, bro.
I know.
I don't even want to be wishy-washy about it. Like seeing this point of confluence along with the Bitcoin dominance. We're now 360 days post-halving where Bitcoin dominance has continued to go up and to the right. There will be come a time where people pull that dominance falls back to just a degree. And these, when we're in the multi-trillion-dollar asset class level and alts are continuously beat down, even the hint of that happening, absolutely going to be crazy for alts. Pi Cycle top indicator is just one of the best. What am I even tripping out here? This crosses the 111-day moving average, crosses with the 350-day moving average times 2 in a perfect motion every single Pico top of Bitcoin here in 2017 and 2021 and back here in 2013. It's absolutely impeccable. So that is our guardrail for, is it over? Not necessarily let crypto Twitter decide what their sentiment is. Drew, we need a 3 to 5 minute Isaac segment where he just let the young bull cook. I like that.
I like that idea.
Well, and what you were heavy into the AI agent stuff.
Maybe I need to reevaluate my AI stuff here, and then we'll go down an AI little spree for y'all.
I like that idea. Very good idea. Now let's see here. This is going to cause some volatility on the markets for sure. High-level Ukraine peace talks have been scrapped. This is pretty breaking news after Marco Rubio and Witkoff pull out last minute. These are conversations being held with Ukraine from the State Department that just can't seem to come to the table right now. Things are getting very weird on what Zelensky is doing. We do have an even bigger update that just dropped about this here in a second. But also within this trade war, Toyota is now investing $88 million into West Virginia plants to boost hybrid vehicle output. I really wish they would just make me the V8 5.7 liter again and stop
know.
with this damn hybrid force push.
No one likes
The
hybrids.
V6 hybrid sucks. It sucks. It's great to see the industry, pushing more and more into the US. That's good for jobs and production here. But Jesus, stop with the hybrid stuff. Now, Trump says the US will have a fair trade deal with China. Some context around this. Bessent came out and gave some time frame on it. Says it's going to be 1 to 3 years before we see this finalization of the trade deal with China. Retire with some money in an IRA. Any recommendations for a guy like me? Bitcoin IRA.
Yeah, Bitcoin IRA. That guy's great. What's his name again? Chris?
I think it's Chris.
I think it's Chris. Yeah, Chris, Bitcoin IRA.
Yeah.
He came on the show, like 2-3 weeks ago?
Do we have the link in our description?
I don't think we have the link in our description, but I could definitely get a link into the chat for you.
Yeah, we need that link. Absolutely. Bitcoin IRA. And once you go in, you can swap the tokens outside of needing to do the tax stuff. Because once you're in, you're in. So yeah, drop the link in the chat there for sure. Isn't there like a code? You gotta get our link. So they know where
we have our own link for it?
Yes, we have our own link.
Where's that at?
I don't know if you know this or not, Isaac, but we're kind of a big deal.
Tell me about it. No, I'll find the actual link for you.
Now, Drew, just get a Yukon Denali.
No.
I mean,
maybe.
If there's any American vehicle that I trust, it's going to be Chevy GMC. I would say that. I'm not a Dodge fan. Sorry, Isaac.
Dude, we are Dodge Maxis in my family. Okay, we buy nothing but Dodges.
God. Then I worry about the comfort level that's going to be diminished by leaving my minivan. I really do. I have this love-hate relationship with the minivan. I really do.
Sit in a Dodge Durango. Sit in a Dodge Durango and then tell me about comfort.
Yeah. And a truck, I mean, yeah, of course, it's a style like me. You could imagine I'd love trucks. I actually got rid of a 1971 Chevy K10 that I built at 550 horsepower. Small block Chevy 350. The first year that Chevy came out with the 4-wheel drive, lifted by 5 inches, painted like a Bronco truck. I sold that truck to move to Georgia to come do this job. So a little bit of a sacrifice I took. Honestly, not too sad about doing it. I was actually running a construction and fencing business out of it at one point. It's like this classic truck. You'd expect to see it like a car show. I'm throwing fucking 4x4 timber in the back of it. People were kind of shocked me at Home Depot. Like, what are you doing to that truck? It belongs like in your garage. Like, no, man.
This is my daily drive. Thank you.
Got to get it. Let it stretch its legs a little bit. All right. And then here is an update. The entire trade team with Trump's cabinet is meeting with 34 countries this week alone. Major moves being had on finding some resolution to the trade war. Trump gave message that we're getting a lot of action, making a lot of money. Country is not going to be losing money on trade anymore. Every country wants to partake, even countries that have ripped us off for many, many years, throwing a shot at China there. And China is, I guarantee you, even if they act like, oh, it's okay, they're fucking pissed. They wanted their Southeast Asian coalition and the European coalition to really start to buy products. And then they realize, here's the thing. What matters more in the production process? Is it the fact that you can produce a bunch of products? Or is it the fact that you have a customer willing to buy the products for you to cover the cost that it was to produce them in the first place?
We talked about this earlier.
I know.
The consumer is the person. Fuck, I just lost my train of thought.
The consumer is the most important part of the equation there.
Thank you. Yeah.
And who consumes the most?
The United States.
Yeah, it's like built into our culture, right? And so when you look at other cultures and their consumer metrics, you got to find ways to offload the products. It is what it is. The system's been built on expectations of an American consumerist pattern, and it will continue that way until things change. Now, this Ukraine update just came out before we went live. President Zelensky is boasting in front of the page of Wall Street Journal that Ukraine will not legally recognize the occupation of Crimea. There's nothing to talk about here. Being very, very staunch from Zelensky on his approach to any sort of peace deal with Vladimir Putin, which is very unfortunate. Huge shout out to Crypto Cody for the gifting of the Blockchain Basement membership. Thank you very much for that. Absolutely. I do want to look at the Trump token as well. I was looking at that right before we got. Look at what the Trump token is doing. Let's go. Let's go. This thing is exploding, dude. Where is this? I'll just go to top gainers. It's fallen down in market.
Actually,
Oh my
holy
god.
cow.
16%. Bro.
Holy cow. That was what sub
Oh
$9
my
to
God.
14.
No, it was like $7 in a minute.
That's what I
there.
thought it was. It looks like 9 over there, but
Jesus. You know, Trump just released that he's going to have that dinner. I think it's for the NFT and potentially the meme coin holders to a certain bracket.
yeah.
Might be playing into it. Yeah, it was around $7 at the bottom. Absolutely crazy. Crazy move. $14.23. Wow. The orange one cometh. It is upsetting to me to see Zelensky being so staunch about not finding a peace deal.
Mm-hmm.
War sucks, man. Stop you're gonna end up with no country. Absolutely crazy to see. Now, that being said, Putin has offered to halt the invasion on his side from Ukraine across the current front. Keywords current front. He wants to retain the land that he's gotten so far in the invasion as part of efforts to reach a peace deal with the President Trump. He's not looking for a peace deal with Zelensky. He's looking to find peace with Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Trump is the one that Putin doesn't want to, go to blows with, and even gifted him this portrait. This is from Putin to Trump, gifting a Trump portrait to the president, showing mutual respect. He's like, this guy's crazy. He stood up after getting shot, put his hands up in the air, like Braveheart, absolutely crazy. I like these comments here. Still have a Trump coin because I forgot about it. That's a nice place to be. Good morning, Granny's Garden. Good morning, Fluffy the Sheep. What is up now? So much to cover. If I did run into a podcast like this, I might have to watch it religiously. Look at
Talking Baby podcast. On today's episode, we'll be talking to the weird-looking person who lives at my house. Thanks for being here, weird-looking person.
Well, thanks for having me. As
I have to see this come to fruition. Like, if it doesn't make real headway with someone, we have to do it, Isaac.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're going to be the Cane Corso.
Dude, the Taco Bell dog? Taco Bell. You'll get
Or
our
the
Taco
Target
Bell.
dog.
What the hell's the Target dog?
Have you not seen the Target dog? The white dog with the
yeah.
domination with the red eye?
Nah, Taco Bell dog's way cooler than that.
I've never seen the Taco Bell dog.
Oh my God. You uncultured.
Uncultured swine.
Finishing my sentences. You know what's on my mind.
I know it's on your mind because I read yours.
Another thing that's on my mind is RFK may scrap the COVID shot for kids from the CDC list.
Thank God.
May is too soft for me. He better fucking scrap this shot off of the kids' shot list. It's so insane that is implemented as a standard for children to have to take. RFK making moves lately, making some major moves. He's going door to door asking people, is that red 40 under your floorboards? Right. He's looking for that red 40. Second, my wife, very plugged into this situation. She did highlight that there is a 1 to 2 year allowance for these manufacturers to get the red 40 processes out of the production of the product.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something that happens overnight, but them having the outlook to do it. My son is so excited. Like, we went to Bell Street Burrito last night, and there's this delicious cherry soda drink. It's not cherry cola. It is like cherry soda. My son, he had one drink of it. He freaked out. He's like, Dad, how many sleeps is it until red 40 is going to be out of that drink and I can have that drink again? It's going to take some time.
Your son is based, though.
He is very based.
How old is he again?
He's 7 years old, and he's super proud of himself because we've been practicing reading. He's great at math already. He's a little behind in reading, and so he's starting to really get his ride in reading.
Yeah.
And now he's excited about it. That is like a really good moment. And my daughter won Student of the Month last night. She put my wife into tears. I mean, my kids are just so good.
Based.
So good. But RFK's out here fixing it. Kellogg's, it's about sending a message, right? That's what it's all about. RFK. But, Democrats have found their way to fight back. They began chugging artificial dyes to protest RFK's movements.
Oh, wow. How smart of them. They're just going to die young.
Taco Bell. My kids ask me the same thing. How many sleeps till this, right? God, cute. All right. So now we got to go into Klaus Schwab potentially going to prison. But why is it that there's always the left eye bloodied for a time frame on these elites, right? This is the new leader that's going to be taking over Klaus Schwab's job.
Oh,
This
can't wait.
leader of Nestle with the eye movement. We remember Biden had this, and then
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth had this. Is it medical, like at the end of their life type thing, or did they get? I don't even want to get into the dark
We'll
side.
ask Grok.
You should throw it in a graph.
Watch.
You know. But experiments from the UK, the British government, to dim sunlight to fight global warming have come out, given the green light by the British government within weeks. Who has seen this episode on The Simpsons? I know it's not you, Isaac. I don't even have to ask.
Okay, you don't have to ask me, but I've seen clips of it.
Yeah.
I've
seen clips.
I've seen clips. That's all that matters.
Okay. Well, Mr. Burns tries to block out the sun. Same thing. The same thing. Doesn't end well. Please do not try to block out the sun. If you are in Britain, I think you bring this up. Now we got to take a look at Brian Wild's question here. If buying today, Morpho, Aether, Ondo, AVAX, Virtuals, ENA, Arrow, Near, Stacks, Jupe, pick 3. Oh God, bro, you're buying now? Is it just because you're just coming into the dry powder, maybe?
Oh my! Grok
I mean,
just dropped
Morpho's
me
at
some.
$1, and I feel very strong about Morpho. Aether, it's been steady-ish. I'll take a look at Aether. I haven't looked at Aether's chart in a while. Ondo is a solid play. AVAX, solid play. ENA might be beat down and a good buy. Arrow felt like it was a good buy and beat down at these levels, so I got to stick with that. Near, AI adjacent. Pick 3. God, I got to pick 3. You got to save that for, okay, so we got more powder. Okay. We're going to take it. That's going to be what we take into consideration in the altcoin section here. But first,
Do you want to see what Grok said though?
yeah, what
What
does
bloody
Grok
left
say
eye?
about
Okay.
it? Yeah.
The idea that elites frequently appear with their bloody left eye often stems from a conspiracy theory, particularly those surrounding the so-called Black Eye Club. These theories suggest that prominent figures, politicians, celebrities, and other influential people who are photographed with a black eye or bloody left eye are part of a secret society, such as the Illuminati, and that the injury is a result of initiation ritual, punishment, or even something out of the outlandish as soul scalping or alien influence. That's what Grok gave me. So yeah.
All right. It didn't go to where I especially did not want to go.
Oh, that's just one paragraph. Out
Okay.
of
Don't,
6.
hold on.
I'm not gonna
We're
know.
trying to stay
That's like the least bannable paragraph that
my
I can
God.
say.
ENS, maybe. World Economic Forum has launched an investigation into founder Klaus Schwab for financial misconduct days after he resigned as chairman. Interesting thing is, I was kind of just back in the day, all I did was research. And I know how to use Boolean search, which is basically a mathematical setup that you put into Google to find certain information. And I just so happened to be writing a script about Mr. Klaus Schwab. What I did was I accidentally stumbled across his tax returns. And on those, his kin and him, hundreds of millions of dollars, very little tax, if any. And there's going to be some questions, I think. I think he's become the world's most focused upon supervillain. And you know what? It's okay to ask those questions. Don't be afraid. I emailed the World Economic Forum, be like, hey, can you expand upon this? I never got a response. Everyone's like, don't talk about it. It's too scary. Just grow a pair, right? Just grow a pair. If everyone grew a pair, these types of people would not exist.
Exactly.
It'd
be no
shout
Salvador.
out to Nick. He's out in Uganda. He gave us an update from Uganda on what's going well and what's going poorly. Sidewalks, poorly. Clean water, going poorly. Building codes, poorly. Food sanitation, going poorly. But slavery is on the up. Blistering fast 5G cell service and cutting edge mobile money. All making moves to the upside in Uganda. Hopefully Nick comes back alive.
Hopefully.
Jesus. Now, regulatory framework is changing. Things are looking juicy for crypto. And you know what? I got in an argument with this. I am admittedly a Bitcoin maxi in certain seasons, for honestly most seasons. There does come a time where I unwind and go back in altcoins, which is the season I'm currently in. Now, when we talk about Bitcoin and this revolution that we're having, Bitcoin is the ground of which the new standard for crypto is going to be built upon. It is the ground in construction terms for what all of these things, Ethereum and smart contract protocols being the homes, the buildings, the utilities, and then the communication between one another, I view as chain link, essentially the roadways within it. So when we're looking at this, if you have a long-term outlook on how this infrastructure of money and communications movement is really going to change, there are places for altcoins. And this is why where we have to be really careful about which altcoins we're stacking, because it isn't just throwing a dart and hitting the 20x this cycle. It clearly is not. But there are outlooks of upside, especially for, like I feel Chainlink's integration with Swift, Ondo's integration with Biddle and BlackRock is pretty damn solid. Other than that, I mean, you're in tokenized treasuries within Biddle, but you have to be careful about how much is just purely speculation about an altcoin, and then how much is reality built into, being integrated into the change of the world. But there are changes on a regulatory framework to put this into play. The OCC, Office of Comp Controller, released an official statement from crypto and banks. Certain crypto-related activities are now legally permissible. This is a major, major step back from Operation Choke Point 2.0, where we're basically all called scammers. Now, this Zora thing, I don't know if I'm going to flip bullish. Like, should I be bullish on Zora? I'm seeing a lot of increase in token creation on Base. Base tokens created absolutely moving to the upside. I've chalked this up as maybe a Craigslist missed connection for Base when they saw Pump.Fun roll out on Solana, and honestly it helped eventually with the selling of Solana, because Pump.Fun makes a ton of revenue in Solana, and they sell that for USDC, right? So that creates some selling pressure. Base and this Zora thing, I got on there, checked out some Zora posts. A lot of them, they weren't worth really anything. And even like Doodles tried to make their headway on there. Maybe it makes, but do we need to tokenize everything? I made a joke about this. Like, are we going to tokenize sunlight at a point? We're going to tokenize water? We're on a path to try and do that, right?
I mean, honestly.
Well, try to talk about doing that. I think it's ridiculous. But there's going to be speculation on projects that try to tokenize sun and water at a point. I think Moonwell is a better move than Morpho. Moonwell, you know what?
If you didn't see the episode that we did yesterday with the founder of Moonwell, you should go take a look at that, because he dropped some alpha that not a lot of people know what they're actually doing with even the Moonwell card or anything like that.
Yeah, and
so you want to go take a look
getting
at that.
a routing number and an ACA number from a freaking crypto protocol.
Exactly.
Mind blowing.
There's no other crypto that is doing that right now. No team's developing that right now.
Look at this too. The TVL on Moonwell is jackknifing to the upside.
What's it versus the price though?
Let's do it. Where is that
token price
right here? Let's do it. Insane.
Oh my gosh.
Insane. Like the token price, I remember seeing Moonwell's token price hit in like a 10-cent range at a point when it was at kind of this peak of TVL. Let's check it out. Moonwell on good old CoinMarketCap. On the day, we're only up 6.9%. Week, we're up 23%. The month, we're up 8%. So huge trough that it's building itself out of. It fell down to 1.5 cents. We're at 2.5 cents in short order, about 15 days. That's great to see. Very beat down price, dude. Very beat down price. You compare this with the TVL strength it's showing, plus the integrations. And people are arguing me like, is Zora going to ruin DeFi for Base? No. Jesus. Base is literally going to force banks to compete offering yield because of what they're bringing to the plate for mass adoption of DeFi. And then you plug in AI agents automatically aggregating which pool is the best yield and then just swapping it for you. This is in DeFi, crypto, and airdrops. This is Vet runs that channel. And that is so important to at least understand what the hell is going on so that you can make sense of where this world is going at large, because banks are literally going to have to adapt or die to DeFi. Fucking tag that. That's some real shit right there. Boom. Now, Let's go into this. Alts. Mr. Kevin, I'm going to be cooking him a steak out in
Legend.
Vegas.
He's going to be staying with us. You know that, right?
I know.
It's going to be great.
I know. We're going to cook. We're going to drink. You know, I might even smoke a cigar. ETH to Bitcoin pair, he's saying, is likely bottomed. Taking a risk, calling it here. Parabolic trends inherently are unsustainable. The ETH to Bitcoin pair is an inverse parabola that is about to exit upward. Big thing to say after this massive pullback. Let's hop on over to the ETH Bitcoin pair right now. God, Bitcoin is just... Isaac?
What?
Should have just done it.
We should have done it. That's okay.
See my damn green line? I was trying to get the full liquidity washout to add to the new position. It is what it is. I got another $2,000 on top of what I won. I'm going to be sending it. I'm going to be sending it. Let's go to ETH Bitcoin. BTC. ETH to Bitcoin. It's actually been gaining on it. Look at that. That's not bad. These are 15-minute candles. Trying to make a chunk up. Let's go to the 4-hour. Woo! Violent move to the downside, and it has rallied against Bitcoin by 8%, which is, I mean, very nice to see. ETH, in TJ's words, is pain to hold in comparison to Bitcoin lately. Massive amount of work to do to actually reclaim, you know, and get above this trend line. Because this trend line, remember, I'd left it on there. After we broke it, I was like, I'm just leaving it. Because this might actually be our next target for where it runs into and then falls.
Yeah.
Let's check it out. If it just hits the lost trend line, that's 100% increase. 100% increase. Shout out to Deucey Does. My man's
Dropping the membies.
gifted me a membies. Yeah, and after this show, I know I got an emergency show at, I think, 4 o'clock. But the next thing is to go back into the team chat, give Deucey all the permissions that he needs to be one of, like, total control, along with the basement originating Discord account, so he can go lay race. Because I want to do some live streams. You know, we do the market open live stream on Arena.
Dude, on
We
Discord
should be
too.
punching that on Discord, right?
Oh yeah, totally. We should members first.
Because we can
Oh.
we can punch a live stream straight to there.
Mhm.
And he can help us get the message out to the people. Because I've done them in the past, and just I'm bad at giving people a heads up. And so that is something that we should absolutely get going. Bans have to be earned, not that easy. What's up, Patton McCrotch? All right, now Marty Party talking about the chart of the largest Bitcoin move in 5 years has begun. This is global liquidity in aggregate, already having moved to the upside and broken out of those resistance zones into new highs. And this is Bitcoin's chart. And you have the same zones highlighted in terms of time reference. This is in relevance to a 105-day lag. M2 front runs Bitcoin's price by about 105 days. DCA and pray. I love DCA and pray. That was it Egan or the dude from Walking Dead with the bat?
Oh yeah.
That guy's a badass.
I dare you.
I think that was such an insane what do you call it, episode of Walking Dead. I didn't even have to keep it going. Trading competition is going great. I mean, I'm still, if it were done by percentage gain, I would be clearly in the win. DZ keeps going in and out on those fart coin trades. I think there's someone else, Negan. That's his name. Thank you, Negan. DZ goes in and out of trades. He's much more high frequency, but if it was by percentage gain, I'd be in the lead. Damn it.
Yeah.
The MACD on the business cycle also showing those rounding off signals. Double bottom business cycle been beaten down since the beginning of 2023. And I am of the opinion now that we see the trade talks coming to a talked about conclusion and outlook of hope for businesses. We're going to start to see this round up as well, which gives great upside to us in the crypto market. Now, tokenized gold, even with the uncertainty and the macroeconomic scenario, has given tokenized gold a absolute breakout, breaking $100 million in DEX volume on Ethereum. As gold hit $3,500 for the first time ever, the tokenized gold is up by 5x in volume since January. Look at that. just another application of crypto that is finding good use case, good upside, good fee generation. Now, DeFi taking over the lending sector is something that we need to look at. In the past 4 years, DeFi market share in crypto lending markets jumped from 20 to 60%. Major moves right there. Back to 93.8. Oh my God. Turbo's ripping. Woo. There's so much going on right now. Overwhelming. And then we got to go back to that dude's question. I thought that was a good question. Was it the he came new dry powder, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and find it, but while I find it, we're gonna take a word from our sponsor.
Blockchain Basement is powered by Arculus. This is the world's leading crypto cold storage where you can easily secure, buy, swap, send, and receive all your crypto with a simple tap using 3-factor authentication to make sure to keep your assets safer than ever. Make sure to support the channel. Use code BASE10 and click the link down in the description to get your hands on your security today.
All right. So we got some new dry powder. You know what? Things have been very, very hot on the crypto market. I am of the opinion that it's, maybe final last words, but the pump that I called for, it's not done by a long shot. I think that what we're looking at on the weekly and this green dot still has some time to play out. I absolutely am of that opinion, but we have to be cognizant that this is a massive candle we've just printed. So Bitcoin up by 11%, really this level, and coming back down to this OG channel support line that has been turned into resistance. Yes, we broke through that resistance, but I'm looking for us to come back down and at least tap this. At that moment is when I'd be talking into what I'm about to talk about with the best alts to get into. Okay, so good context to that conversation right there. Now, let's take a look at it. So we're talking about Morpho. Let's take a look. So we'll start here on this tab, Moonwell. Honestly, I already covered the DeFi or the TVL comparison to Moonwell and the price. Moonwell, it's going to be pretty violent to the upside. This thing moves very, very aggressively. But let's take a look at the next one. So Morpho, this is the one that I moved in with size at about 87 cents. This is now my third biggest altcoin holding. Nice enough from the aggregate buy level because of the size that I moved into it at that 87 cent mark. But in general, man, beat down again, right? This is a beat down, disgusting buy op. Okay, so both these are Bitcoin major beat down. Hey, someone got some customer service stuff fixed?
Yep, Glassworks.
I solved the issue, top notch. They have excellent customer service.
Indeed.
That is what I've heard from everyone that's had an issue. I've never had an issue. But when there is an issue, if you have trouble getting a hold of them, you just tell me. But they've been pretty responsive on their own. Morpho, very beat down, disgusting buying up. Honestly, if you have nuts and you don't think the market's over with and you see what's actually happening with crypto, it's across the board. Good spots here. Now, Aether, ATH. Let's go check it out. Only up by 3.9%. Woo! Man, I'm glad I got out of the way of that downturn.
Oh, Lord.
I got out at like 5 or 6 cents because I saw things were starting to get wonky. Holy God. Is this where I buy it? Decentralized GPU. I mean, the tech behind it's really good. I think it's going to be also in tandem to the AI resurgence. There's a Morpho unlock today as well. Good to know. Good to know.
0.1%.
Well, how many percent?
0.1%.
Oh, percent. Ugh, I better dump my whole bag then. Jesus. Now, this Aether decentralized GPU stuff, I think, is going to be pretty beholden to AI finding that resurge again. I'd say this is a much higher risk, much higher reward type situation because it is still completely undiscovered. And, some of the bigger thinkers that I, follow and listen to, they've been feeling good about it. I did have to get out of the way, seeing the price start to fall back. 1 million Morpho tokens. Okay. No big deal. Now let's go to the next one. Ondo. This one really has been quite strong and lacking a major pullback.
No brainer.
Ondo is kind of a no-brainer under $1 level. It's pretty, looks like shooting fish in a barrel. The title or the thumbnail was almost easy money from how many of these graphs, these good project graphs, are beaten down.
Mm-hmm.
Ondo at 93 cents. It's only 13% up since its literal launch. They're going to be launching their own chain. And when we talk about the concept of tokenizing Wall Street, there's kind of a little bit of money involved with that.
Yeah.
And you have some of the biggest decision makers in macro finance on the board and making them talk, making them make this happen over the, next 5-10 years. Ondo looking pretty juicy at these levels. Now AVAX, I know it's about $22. AVAX, I wrote 22 in there. AVAX is, I am not personally inclined to add more at these levels, but I can see AVAX I feel psyoped and scammed if it didn't pass 139.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of actual things happening on AVAX. $20 from this level, not that bad. It's a definite blue chip. It's number 13. I think it's going to continue fighting for that number 13 spot. And the community is psychotic and diamond hands. So kind of like XRP when it comes to that. And they haven't even done. Here's something interesting about AVAX is they have fee generating systems that they're active, but the fee generations haven't gone active yet. Right. That's something else to give. Like they haven't even shot their whole load yet. AVAX and the development of it and the 3 different chains. That's all just infrastructure built out for the actual rollout of that fee generation. Now let's go to the next one. Virtuals, deep AI. I mean, it's not very deep, but it's heavily entrenched and integral to AI agent infrastructure. VIR, Virtuals protocol, up 22% today. Holy
bad.
God. I'm being careful about hammering into this because of the pump, but God dang, there's a lot of room left to reclaim. Look at the Pico top was $4.60.
Which was $46.
Yeah, $46. Is that a $500 million market cap? I mean, like $1 billion on the resurgence is kind of FUD for this thing. Let's go here. Yeah, $1 billion would only bring it back to this level. Virtuals, a lot of AI agents are built out on virtuals. AI agents that we talked about with Mr. Luke yesterday. A lot of people don't understand the power of you just tell an AI agent, hey, go do this DeFi protocol for me, or go get into this pool, or go find me better yield. We're actually going to see AI agents capable of doing so over the next year. And we are going to see billions of AI agents for hundreds of thousands of different applications rolled out over the next 5 years. Seeing how many are built out on virtuals, not a bad thing to be looking at right now. It's very high risk, very, very high reward in the long term.
You know what the main one that was built off of virtuals was?
Graphane.
Oh, baby. Don't fade me, baby. Come on.
Oh my God. Sometimes it's better to own the shovel and pick shop rather than the specific shovel or pick, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Athena up 13% on the day, 28% on the week, down 12 on the month, down 64 on the year. Honestly, the Athena is one of those World Liberty Fi picks. And also, I could see a lot of integrations with RWAs over the next few years. Now that we have Paul Atkins in place.
Yeah.
This is a damn hard choice here. Aerodrome, I already know the story with that. Near, I don't feel like stacking right now. Stacks, I don't feel like stacking. Jupe, I don't feel like stacking. Honestly, this is a tough one. What are you going to pick, Isaac? Which one are you going to
I should probably go back up to it.
Yeah, well, it's between Morpho, AVAX, ENA, Virtuals, Ondo is in there.
I feel like Morpho's at a really good spot.
Morpho?
Yeah, Ondo, anything under $1 for Ondo picking up, that's a good buy.
Yeah.
But I'm still leaning towards Morpho.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think if I'm picking 3, Morpho is the chosen one for direct landing on the UI of Coinbase.
Yep.
There's a guy that literally argued with me that doesn't exist. I feel like some of these Bitcoin maxis are just hallucinating.
Retarded.
So Morpho, I think, is good. ENA and take a risky play on virtuals.
Yeah, virtuals, Morpho, Ondo.
We see money flowing down. I'm going to see it flowing downhill from Tau and the AI interest. It's not going away, dudes and dudettes. This is just the beginning. Yeah, Ondo is
it's like kind of like that safe play within that.
That's the safer play between the three.
Absolutely. Choices must be made though. Now's the time. Are you in it to win it for the biscuit? Or is it time to protect capital and hope that all returns to normal, as we heard 5 years ago, and things still have not returned to normal. In fact, they've increased in velocity of change. This is the time for those choices. You know what? And you get the crypto that you have at the price you deserve, as I always say. What you got, Isaac?
Set says, what good is money if you can't spend it? Well, what good is money if you can't make your money make you more money?
Ooh. Bam. I
Bam.
like that. All right. So, Isaac, and also see if you can you peruse around Rumble to see if we can raid anyone?
Sure, why not?
Dude, yesterday's Rumble show was insane. We got
22,000 views.
That's nuts. 22,000 people on Rumble?
Yeah.
It's never happened in our history. And apparently they're leaning, Tether, getting involved with Rumble. And we are clearly the perfect match for the Rumble crowd. I mean, it's undeniable. We are Rumble people. All you got to do is select a URL of a current live stream. And then what you do is /raid and then space and then that URL. Someone's bringing up Plume too. Plume has been extremely strong. Let's see here. So hard to choose between my babies. All right. Yeah, I mean, Plume is honestly getting ready to absolutely go berserk. This thing has been pretty steady, Freddy, through the entire pullback too, which is something very, very interesting to keep an eye on. This is even more stable than Ondo, right? So, oh my God,
my bad.
Crazy. That is a good highlight there. Until AA DeFi Zero, he is not peak male. God, I was talking about because I was like, TJ, I got a ton of it. I'm trying to be an effective trader. It does require quite an effective trader and an effective macroeconomic news person and an effective crypto person and an effective dad and husband. I feel like my plate's a little full.
Yeah. Quick question.
What do you got, Isaac?
Do you raid from their actual? Do we raid from our chat or do we raid from their chat?
In the Rumble chat.
In their chat? Or our chat?
In our Rumble chat.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how we do that. I'm excited to see Rumble start to give more love to crypto creators, man. Like we've been putting out. Oh my God.
My bad.
It takes a lot of work. We've been punching out videos on there for quite some time. And now that the Tether integration has happened, I think that they're giving a little bit more love to the Rumble peeps, the people that are creating content on there. But we're all over the place. We're on X. If you're on X, re-X us.
Repost, retweet. If you're on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed. Consider becoming a member. If you're on, God, we're on so many things. We're on. Where else are we on right now? So we're on Rumble, YouTube, Twitter. We're not on Arena, but we do stream on Arena. That's about it.
Okay.
I mean, we're not on Instagram or anything like that right now, so we're still working on that.
Instagram doesn't need us.
They don't need us. But
Brianna, she runs our Instagram, and she does a great job with it. So, we're at the bottom. Throw a dart out alt season, man. These are the times I live for, where it's fun to buy crypto. Prices beat down. Honestly, it's been tailored down. My preference list on altcoins is pretty short. Not looking at anything and everything just because it's got a pulse out there doesn't mean that I think it's going to break all-time highs. Many of these projects will never break all-time highs again. Many of them. So you have to think about that. You streaming on P-Hub. That's where you mainly watch Biz Knowledge. Not yet. I think Isaac's got that in the works, though.
Sure.
Love and appreciate every single one of you out there. Thank you for joining us on the show today. And give us a reshare, do all the things, give us that engagement, help us boost the signal. The retail FOMO is about to come back. We're going to ride this. We're going to hit $100,000 on Bitcoin and 100,000 subscribers. And I'm going to wear that chain around like Flava Flav. It's going to be great. I'll see you at Bitcoin Vegas and tomorrow on the show. Take care.